Okay, so I'm going to reconstruct my official 544 Square-1 single that I got at North Star Cubing Challenge 2022 in Minnesota. So I had fist square, and I got odd tracing on this, so I would solve it scout kite and put the kite in the back. So I would do this. Sorry, this angle sucks, but that's the best I can do. I would do this. Like that. And then I've got a one slice OBL, which is honestly what made this, as part of what made this as good as it was. So just did the one slice, PJ, so, RR, which is a 5 slicer. So I could have solved the rest of this in 6 because of the equator flip. However, I don't know the alg, so I personally couldn't have. All I know is it's a cancel. I think it's something like, I'll show it after what I think it is. But basically I did PJ into AJ, U2, D2. So that was a pretty cool solve. After getting that on my first solve in the final round, I started shaking uncontrollably. Was completely freaking out, and because this the 575 that I'd had before had kind of stood for a long time for me, like since I think it was probably around summer 2019. So to be able to beat that finally was pretty cool, and my hands just were shaking uncontrollably, like not just in one direction, but like there was absolutely no control. And I before the round before, which was the day before, I had done my entire average using OBL on every solve, and while I knew every OBL I think that I got, because I don't know some of the 5 slicers, I didn't do them because I was freaking out so much, like I couldn't even think about it, which is weird, because I'd actually finally gotten to a point where it would be hard for me to get myself to do COEO instead of OBL. But so yeah, that solve, it shook me all night long. So I didn't do that well in the average. Outside of that, I guess I got a 10, and I plus 2'd an 8, so that kind of killed the average. But it was. I'm very glad that I got that solve. Hopefully I can break it again, but it's going to take more work for me to beat a solve like that at this point. So we'll see what happens. But I'm mostly at this point looking to improve my averages from here, specifically using OBL, just because whenever I use an OBL and I can get a fluid OBL done, and I don't have a bad PBL, I can get like 6s, which is, so I'd like to go below my average. Well, 6s or lower, I guess. So, as long as I can get an average where I don't get terrible PBLs, or if I can improve my PBLs, I feel like I could. There's a lot more room for my averages to improve on. But it was, really cool to get that. And even though it caused me to choke, I would rather take that single improvement over having a good average. So yeah.